Thank you so much, Ashwin, for your time today, and congrats on your new appointment. First of all, can you just tell us what would be your role now, since you are the head of MIDA? What are your plans to keep it simple?
Like I said earlier in the press conference, media is going to play a critical role in nurturing deep democracy, and I thought this was timely that I invited the media and fully briefed them on the significance of the new constitution, the importance of knowing, familiarizing themselves with the laws of this country, the media decree of 2010, as well as the role that media is going to play in the lead to the 2014 elections. And so I thought these three matters were of pertinence, and it was imperative that the authority actually had a one-on-one discussion with the media. The other thing, of course, is we want to visibilize the work of the media authority, and also build on our work in the area of advocacy, and encourage robust media.
Actually, in terms of training to media houses and journalists, what are your plans in that regard?
The Media Industry and Development Authority is going to hold a series of workshops, one on the question of elections and the role of media in the lead up to elections, and two, and that's the awareness sessions on the media decree. I think it's important that the media industry is fully cognizant, take full cognizance of the laws under which they operate. And I think that because you're going to be reporting of matters of national importance around things like constitution, around elections, know basic things like the electoral laws of the country, know what the provisions of the constitution are. And these are matters of just factual accuracy. And then you can deal with the question of perception. Right now the problem is that there's a lot of matters that are under contestation, and you very quickly realize that it's built on perception as opposed to the actual reading of these laws. And I think that that's the first step that we need to take.
In terms of general elections next year, what approach do you think, as the head of MIDA, media houses should take towards this important step?
Extremely important that there is balance in the reporting, there's accuracy and fairness, and both the constitution and the decree provide for these things, and I think it's important that at all times we uphold these values and we act it out.
When we talk about training, and there has been some discussions about foreign agencies coming to train media houses, can you just tell us what's MIDA's stance on foreign agencies coming here in Fiji to train media houses?
MIDA is not necessarily averse to the role of the international community in foreign agencies. To us, what is important is that we be included in this conversation. To me, the fact that the journalists operate in a particular context, which is Fiji, governed by the laws of this country and the constitution, to me it is deeply curious that international agencies would come and hold workshops on very critical matters like elections, human rights, democracy, and not consult the authority under which everybody is registered. So that dissonance is quite disconcerting for us, and I think we want to be fully on board with these discussions and conversations. Media is not trying to police what the international community is doing. I think these workshops are important. The point is that we need to be fully consulted as an authority.
Mm-hmm. In terms of complaints against any media personnel or media organizations, how will MIDA work towards ensuring that a fair decision is made?
Procedurally, our work is in fact governed by the provisions of the media decree, and we take full cognizance of the constitution and what the constitution provides for in adjudicating the merits or demerits of a particular complaint. The decisions that we arrive at are not the decisions of an individual, for instance the chair, but the board fully deliberates on it and comes up with a decision as a collective.
Mm-hmm. When we talk about media, at this age and era, there are a lot of social media coming along. So will MIDA also monitor social media as well?
We acknowledge the role of the social media, and particularly the demographic that is engaged with the social media, for instance, young. The concern that I expressed earlier in the press conference is the tenor of the discourse in the social media. For instance, if you look at Facebook, if you look at Coup 4.5, Letters to the Editor Uncensored, Stuck in the Mud. There's a lot of racial vitriol, sexist, homophobic, hypermasculine discussions, which basically, tantamount to hate speech. And surely that cannot, in any way, any conceivable way, lead to a full-fledged democracy. So I'm saying that as these people, rally for, the restoration of democracy in Fiji, ironically, or perhaps not so ironically, they've kind of dropped to this other level where they're threatening the safety and the security of individuals who profess to political values that they don't necessarily subscribe to, or individuals who hold public office that they don't necessarily sort of recognize. And I'm saying that the level of public discourse on matters of democracy, good governance, human rights has to raise to a new level, which is done with respect, with decorum. You must be able to reason without rancor, and try and enter the protocols of other people that you're talking about and substantiate your claim. We have no authority in terms of policing the IP, but we appeal to the public if they feel that their rights have been fundamentally violated, if they feel that the level of discourse is actually threatening the harmony of people, then by all means write to the Facebook. I want the public to not be passive recipients and consumers of the media, but become active agents in terms of turning the discourse around.
Ashwin, anything else you want to say from your side?
I acknowledge the fundamental role that the media is going to play, has continued to play, and will play. I'm asking for professionalism. I ask the media to engage themselves ethically. I want them to ask deep and meaningful questions as we lead to elections, as we have discussions around very important matters like the Constitution, because the public deserves better.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Ashwin.